Every time I dust off my old Dreamcast, I'm still amazed at how this little white box refuses to die. Even decades after its launch, folks still make new stuff for it and adapt other games to run on this little console, all just for fun and passion. It's wild how a community can keep something this old so vibrant and creative. In this video, let's discuss the 10 best homebrew and port projects. In the meantime, drop your favorite game of SEGA Dreamcast in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Grand Theft Auto 3 Dreamcast Homebrew Port. Guys, there are days I still can't believe this actually exists on Dreamcast. This was a massive fan-made port project called DCA3, built by reverse engineering the PC's version code to make it compatible with Dreamcast's Callisti OS SDK. It's an unofficial alpha release right now, meaning you can compile a build using your own legally owned GTA 3 files and burn it to a disk or run it via GDEMU. The story behind this originally, GTA 3 started development for Dreamcast before moving to PS2 way back in the day. So seeing it finally come full circle is a dream for retro fans. Gameplay is classic open-world chaos, with missions, cars, and Liberty City vibes squeezed into 25-year-old hardware. It runs surprisingly well, and just thinking about cruising Dreamcast gives me chills. Minecraft Crafti Dreamcast Homebrew. Okay, so let me make it clear. The official Minecraft was never released on Dreamcast, but there is a homebrew called Crafti that brings the blocky building vibes to Dreamcast. In plain terms, it's a Minecraft-style engine ported to Dreamcast where you explore and place blocks in a 3D world. Controls took me a hot minute to really get comfy with. Movement on the D-pad, analog stick to look around, and face buttons to place or remove blocks. But once I got rolling, I was seriously hooked. There are no creepers or real enemies here, no soundtrack, and it's simple, but it feels like Minecraft on Dreamcast in spirit. It's the kind of project that makes you step back and appreciate how clever homebrew devs are, squeezing building and exploration into hardware that never officially had this genre. Doom 64 Dreamcast Port. When I boot up Doom 64 on Dreamcast, it's like revisiting an old haunted house with a new key. Familiar, but fresh. This is a fan-made port of the iconic late 90s shooter, brought over to Dreamcast hardware by community coders obsessed with nostalgia and texture-packed gameplay. Well, it's not an official version. You'll get those eerie corridors, relentless demons, and that heavy soundtrack pumping through your VMU or audio output. And seeing it run at playable speeds on the console's architecture is genuinely awesome. For fans of classic first-person shooters, it scratches the itch like nothing else on Homebrew DC. Pure terror, pure fun, and proof that Doom still refuses to die, no matter the console. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection, Homebrew Compilation. Seeing TMNT, the Cowabunga Collection on Dreamcast made me laugh out loud. It's literally Turtles on a console that never got an official release. This fan-made compilation wraps up a bunch of classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade titles and sticks them onto a Dreamcast disc, with menus and extras that feel right at home on the old UI. The gameplay is pure nostalgia, brawling through streets with Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael, grabbing pizza and smashing foot soldiers like it's 1991 again. For retro fans who grew up with TMNT, this homebrew feels like a love letter. It maintains that classic, frantic, beat-em-up pace while giving the Dreamcast community a reason to rejoice as we hunker down in turtle power. Sturmwind, official indie, or unlicensed Dreamcast release. If there's ever a shmup that looks like it should have been a Dreamcast retail game back in the day, it's Sturmwind. This indie title, originally released in the early 2010s and later reissued, feels like unlocking a secret chapter of DC history. The visuals are crisp, the enemies relentless, and the intensity makes me pump my fist every time I see a boss explosion. It's not some tiny homebrew, This was professionally crafted with care, and that shows in the level design and tight controls. Whether you're a classic shooter fan or just love that old arcade rush, Sturmwind hits all the right notes on Dreamcast. Xeno Crisis, top-down shooter. Xeno Crisis might just be one of the most addictive shoot-'em-ups on Dreamcast Homebrew, and I've lost hours to its relentless alien hordes. It's a top-down action shooter with chunky sprites, explosive gunplay, and a relentless tempo that reminds me of why I fell in love with arcade games in the first place. The controls are tight, the aesthetic is quirky in a retro-futuristic way, and there's this pulse-pounding energy every time you step into a new room. You'll be dodging bullets, clearing waves of enemies, and shouting at the screen with joy when you survive a particularly insane encounter. It's polished enough to sit beside many commercial indie titles, and many fans would tell you it deserves top-tier respect among DC homebrew shooters. Gunlord, Run and Gun Classic. I still grin like an idiot every time I drop into Gunlord. This run-and-gun action masterpiece is like playing the 16-bit era's best ideas with modern polish. Developed by Dev.Team, it came out in 2012 and puts you in the boots of Gordain Gaiden, battling through sprawling stages full of enemies, power-ups, and tight platforming sections. The graphics and music are rich and detailed, and you can even access shoot-'em-up sequences that break the action beautifully. It's one of those Dreamcast titles that feels big, not just in scope, but in heart, and it's a must-play for anyone who digs classic side-scrolling thrills. Rush Rush Rally Reloaded, top-down racer. Sometimes you just want arcade racing fun, and Rush Rush Rally Reloaded delivers that old-school vibe with serious charm. I've spent evenings cranking tight turns, drifting through courses, and challenging friends in split screen because it feels right on Dreamcast. Simple, intense, and addictive. Originally a re-release of Rush Rush Rally Racing with new modes like Challenge and Time Attack, this game gives you easy-to-learn but hard-to-master handling, a vibrant pixel aesthetic, and that competitive spark you don't find in many homebrew racers. It makes you appreciate how much joy can come from just racing your mates around a track on a console that's almost 3 decades old. Fast Striker, SHMUP port / NG Dev.Team. Every time Fast Striker kicks off on Dreamcast, I'm reminded how awesome shoot-'em-ups can be when they dial both speed and strategy up to 11. Made by NG Dev.Team, like several other DC classics, this port brings intense vertical shoot-'em-up action with waves of enemies, tight bullet patterns, and power-ups that make every level feel like a test of reflexes and nerve. It's polished, relentless, and it feels huge, to the point where I've got scars on my pride from dying over and over as I aim for just one more boss. SHMUP lovers will adore the frantic pacing and score chasing that keeps you hooked far longer than you planned. Intrepid Izzy, indie platformer. Talking about Intrepid Izzy makes me smile every single time. It's a Metroidvania-style indie platformer that feels like the perfect Dreamcast indie dream. Developed by Senile Team and funded via Kickstarter, Izzy blends classic exploration with tight controls, clever level design, and a cheeky, playful aesthetic that refuses to take itself too seriously, but still hits all the right gameplay notes. You'll explore, fight, and unlock paths in a way that feels deeply satisfying. And it's proof that even after the Dreamcast commercial life ended, passionate creators can bring real original games to life on it. Whether you're into platformers, classic exploration, or just good old-fashioned fun, Izzy's world is one you'll want to dive into again and again. And that's a wrap on our countdown of the best Dreamcast homebrew ports. It's amazing to see how passionate creators and fans have kept this console alive, with projects ranging from GTA 3 and Minecraft-style homebrew to shooters, racers, and platformers. If you discovered any new titles today, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.